What's up, y'all? It's Jam and Sam, and today we're going to restore Ripcurl Reef from Donkey Kong Country 3 for the Game Boy Advance. This is the underwater music, and I'm excited to do this one because I literally just discovered that this song is restorable now. I found all the sources, and there are some synths in there that we're going to have to recreate, but that shouldn't be a problem because they're pretty simple synths, and I have in mind how to restore them. Now, let's see, the song starts with a I'm gonna pull up the song here, but it starts with an FM8 patch, and this is something that the video game restoration community has already known about for a long time. It's a preset from FM8 and it is called Science Friction. Wait, was that it? I'm not sure if that was it, or was it, oh, there it is. I think it's just a higher note. Because going to, let's see, the song. We have it starting out with, oh wow, they're gonna start with, this is not music, this is footage from the game. Just because I searched Ripcurl Reef. I guess I have to search Waterworld. Okay, here it is. Definitely a C note. And it should just be louder. I need my fan on. This is not cool. It's gonna make some noise, but maybe that shouldn't be a problem if I put it on the noise gate. And if I position the fan right. Okay, there it is. So let me make sure that my voice is coming through clearly too. Good morning, Drewstalgic. Welcome. Good morning, Mario the Musical 47. Okay, so this just needs to be louder, but that's pretty much what it is there. Let's turn it up. I think there's like a master knob here that will allow me to turn it up. Output. I need more than that. More. Okay, so I can probably, I want to keep this knob with some room to, but I can just like raise the volume multiplier. Nice. It can be pretty loud too, because at this point there's not a lot of instruments for it to compete with, and it only plays in the beginning. So okay, so, and then we have that, and we have the strings. But this, I need to put this note down. Nice. So I'm gonna give this about like 4 bars. But it's supposed to be at like, I think this song is at like 85 BPM. Ah, interesting. We have like a long, I can potentially keep that going for a long time. Maybe even like 8 bars, and it could just be an atmosphere. But I don't know if I want to do that because it should fade out at some point. I think we can cut it off after 3, to be honest, because it should be ringing out with some release anyway. Nice. Okay, so we'll drop that down. We'll call this Science Friction. And then we'll go and tackle the chords. Now I know I have the chord samples here, so you can hear them clearly. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're actually in the browser, so I can just use that. So Waterworld, and then these strings come from the Roland CL Strings Section CD. And they are, here, let me make a new pattern for this. And they're all gonna be at A. So if I go and open a new channel, open a new channel, open a new channel, you can hear the progression. He just has a sample for each of the chords. And I think that some of them they're all different lengths. Like, they get shorter as it goes by, which means that he might be, like, he's obviously looping these, but it makes me wonder, like, what if he just, like, I don't know why they're all getting shorter. But so this uses I matched this to the Roland LCD-P13 orchestral strings patch, which is the same patch that we used for Cascade Capers, which is I knew it was the actual original. I had matched it myself, but not everything in that song, in that cover, was the original. So, well, particularly I think mostly just the percussion loop was obviously not the same. But let's see, strings. Okay, here we go. Strings work F to AS. Okay, so this, and I transcribed these chords, so these will be, I have them saved as a score file. Here's the chords as they occur. Oh, it's too loud. That's because I have this envelope on here, because in Cascade Capers it was a lead, it was playing a melody, and the samples have a natural sort of attack to them, so I had to use the envelope to remove that. And so here I can, whoa, they're really loud. But I think the bars last longer than that because he loops them for quite a while. I know in Aquatic Ambience it was always 2 bars as well, so that would make sense. And so this is pretty much exactly the same. Actually, this is exactly the progression of Aquatic Ambience. Hi, Restorminator. Welcome. Thank you so much for doing this. This has been in my dreams and seeing the restored version of this music. My favorite of the OT is OST of the GBA saga. Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Welcome, Dante Ciccinelli. Photoshop. I don't have Photoshop here. This is not even photos at all. This is music. My gratitude is comparable to the number of stars in the infinite. Nice, that's poetic. I love that. Thank you. Welcome, Kaioshin. bro, yo, bro, let's go, heck yeah. Nice, love the enthusiasm. All right, so these chords are pretty much the same as in aquatic ambience, but if you notice, there's a lot of voices here, and aquatic ambience didn't use that many voices. Aquatic ambience had one voice in the bass, played by the Vox sample, and then it had some synth strings playing 3 voices up here. And so, because they didn't have as much channels, but now since this is all using one channel, instead of doing like the SNES does. No, the SNES did like this. So in the SNES, he prioritized the so you had the root in the bass with playing this C. Actually, it was a lower C. And you had in the treble you had. So he was leaving off the upper root because there's 2 C's here. The 3rd, 5th, and he left off the 7th, and he used the 9th. So that's what he prioritized, but here he uses the full chord. This is a C minor 9 chord. And then there's a double up in the bass. There's another C there. So what he's kind of doing is, now that he can use the full chords, basically this chord progression is just walking down in thirds in the scale. So we have A flat major 9 as well. And in the SNES, he also uses the I believe he also uses the 3rd, 5th, and 9th. And then in this 3rd chord, he goes to F, but then he keeps the treble the same. So that's interesting here. I think that was like that's different from here, because I think here we have dropped out the 11th, because he's doing F minor 11 there. But he's not using the 3rd this time. He's using the 5th and the 7th and the 11th. That's in the SNES. But here we're just going straight up F minor 9. And here in the final one, we're doing a little bit something different. We're doing A sharp, like B flat major over D. And I think in the SNES there was a C in there. So maybe I have that wrong, I don't know. But it's not exact, but, or at least I hope it's exact, because let me check that last chord. So that sounds pretty close. That sounds exact to me. Yeah, it sounds exactly the same. So here he's making it less complicated. I think a lot of the in the SNES version, a lot of the limitations bred doing something different. But now he's just going straight up, like downward in thirds, and doing minor and doing 9th chords as he goes down. So that's pretty cool. And well, actually here is just a direct B flat major chord. So but it's over D, so it looks like it's kind of going down in thirds, but it's not actually doing that. It's actually in B flat major chord. So, what is next after? What else do we have going on in this first few seconds? Let me see what people are saying. This is Photoshop for music. It's the Photoshop for music. SNES was a different composer for DKC3. Yes. For the most part, a few tracks were Dave's, but most of it was Evelyn. Love the recent Cascade Capers remix. Thank you, Drew Stalgic. Glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Morning, Sam. Welcome, EG Link. Morning. I love the GBA CG I don't even know that soundtrack, but yeah, I don't know if that one will be done, but someone can commission it if they want. So I haven't had any requests for that, and I haven't really even heard it, but I'll take a listen to it, maybe. So yeah, but welcome. Glad you, where do you do commissions? I do, you can message me in, welcome. Thank you, Black Sun. $2 from Black Sun. Nice. So you can message me on Discord. My Discord link is in the is in my channel, or you can email me. The email is also in the channel. But for most songs, it gets to be pretty steep because it takes so long. Like it takes like 6 hours to do this stuff. So for it takes more than 6 hours because to compile all the sources takes like at least 3 hours. So if it's like a simple song, like most SNES songs are only 8 channels, but then it's usually like $100. But that's why it's so expensive, because it's like I'm spending like upwards of 9 hours on one song. So yeah, unfortunately I can't really offer less than that most of the time because it just takes so much time. But anyway, I work with people's like budget a little bit. I can move around a little bit if someone's really budget like has a really tight budget. Let's see. The day in can DKC play DKC through restored. Oh yes, that'll be a goal to look forward to someday. Best thing about DKC through GBA reading is how Ripcurl Rage is such a juxtaposition to how happy-go-lucky. Oh yes, it's very different for Treetop Tumble. It was such a different feeling. So we have these chords, and so now we can delete. I just wanted to show you like what's in the system that I was working from. And so we have this, and we're gonna put this down. We're gonna call these chords. No, not random color. Chords. Okay, I think it should stay, like the science friction thing should stay brighter for longer. Okay, so we have that, and then we have that synth. That's gonna be fun to transcribe. I think I just have to really brighten it up, and it's already in the first track, so maybe I can just... Yeah, if we can just brighten that up a bit, that'd be great. Maybe not that much. And I wouldn't really know how to extend that. Maybe through the timbre envelopes. Nah, that's not doing anything. Ooh. Ah, the sustain does something good. Like the amplitude sustain. Okay, so maybe I can make it... I do want it to fade out, so maybe I can make it just decay longer. Okay, maybe not that long. Nice, and give it a little more release, because I want it to kind of fade seamlessly. A little bit more release. And maybe we can have it start fading out earlier. I feel like only the high part fades out. Maybe if we do this. No, the other part still fades out faster. That takes a bit more than a bit more editing than I'm capable of doing, but that's fine. It's not going to be that noticeable. Okay, yeah, that's not noticeable at all in the grand scheme of things. I would like to restore Super Metroid arcade tracks from for a Sense of Completion 2 for your Super Metroid. I haven't heard Super Metroid arcade. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'll look into that. Thank you for $5 from Black Sun. Glad to have that. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hey, best thing about the GBA. Oh yes, I read this already. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so message me about that, and we'll see what we can work out. Work out a deal. So these strings are done, and so next we have that synth. That'll be fun because this synth is let's see, synth riff. So let's go to a new pattern for this, and let's call this ostinato. And now we're gonna, this is like stored in the game lower in pitch. Now, one easy way to stretch this to the right pitch is that I could say that it's 1 bar, because I know that it's 1 bar long. No, that's not it. What's going on here? Maybe it's faster. Oh, it's actually faster. Okay, so because I had assumed that the tempo was like 85 BPM because like the first chord sample stretch that long, but it's not actually. It's faster than that. I think it might be 150 because Aquatic Ambience was like 75 and that doubles to 150. No, maybe it's 140, so maybe 120. I think we're getting there. Ooh. Okay, that might be it, I think. Nice. Maybe 105. No, I think it was 110. No, maybe even faster than that. Maybe 115. No, it's still got to be lower. I can tell it's not the same pitch. So it must be 110. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. So now that, let's see, call this ostinato, and then I can tell that sounds like the, let's get a, this was probably done using FM8 by like a custom patch, but we're going to use Citrus for this because I know how to use Citrus, and it's, FM8 is, FM synthesis tends to be pretty standard. So let's try doing this. It sounds like I can hear the Aquatic Ambience riff in there where it's like so we have now and it's definitely a chord here. There's like multiple notes going on. So let's see. Let's try to reduce this to 1 blip and see, because it's mostly a sine. Oh, wow. Oh, I forgot I have to like... Okay, so, wow, that's interesting. So, looks like we have some lower stuff going on here. So if this is a sine wave, whoops. Okay, I want this to be short for sure. I'm trying to get that harmonic there. And it sounds like there's like some of the notes are not in like it sounds like the notes are not 100% aligned either. So we have a smaller, like a less, a note with less volume here. Okay, so we have definitely two Ds. Okay, that looks like it right there. Look at that. And then we have some upper harmonics here. Maybe the next A sharp is there. Yeah, that's definitely there. And then maybe the next D. No, it's got to be the next octave, actually. Or maybe the third. No, maybe... I think it's more like an F. Yeah, that makes more sense. But this one's even quieter, which makes me think it might be... Makes me think it might be like not... Like, because I don't know how much of that is like just a sine wave and how much of that has other harmonics in the patch. And so if these are the notes, then I suppose it also could be this. No, it's definitely, there's definitely a D sharp right there. So I think that these could definitely be octaves. Like it could be that in the within the patch there is an octave, like a lighter octave. But I don't know. So at this point, let's just roll with the sine wave and keep these notes here until we know that there's something else. So now the next one, next note, we'll put this here. And then I will move on to, like, move the sample onto the next one. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's, yeah, this will go well one note at a time. Yeah, lucky caught, $5 more. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Black Sun. Luckily, Caught Power, the composer behind Metroid Arcade Tracks, offers his MIDI, so you wouldn't even have to reconstruct the song. Okay, so the MIDIs are there. Then I'd have to. That might make it cheaper because a lot of this, a lot of the time put into these comes from like interpreting the data. Because a lot of them have like the problem with are these is this a GBA game? Oh, okay, so if there's MIDI and if it's well made, like if it splits the tracks between like instruments, then that makes it a lot easier. So that might make it cheaper. I could probably do that for like 50 depending on how complicated it is. But anyway, so this one, and one thing I forgot about is that, okay, so these are like staggered, but I don't know, I'm gonna stagger them all at once instead of one by one, because they're probably all staggered by the same amount. Like as in like the chord notes are probably like a slight strum to them, like a slight flam, like they're all different time a little bit. So let's just transcribe this one. And let's see. So how do I want to do this? Because I have to mute these because they're gonna throw me off. So now I need. Why would you do that? I think that one's right. I think it's a D, actually. And then there's another really close one here. It might be a third. No, it might be a fourth. But this one's like low velocity. Well, not that low velocity. Could be half. Ah, maybe it could be also another A sharp. No, I couldn't. I think it's actually a G. And so the next one may be another D. Yes. And I think there's other things here. But these are really low. No, this has got to be closer. Yeah, I could do it. And then maybe another D here. No, I think whatever is beyond that is part of the timbre. Okay, so that's good. Now this will go to the right here, and then we'll mute that out. And then we'll go on to the next note. Next. Interesting. So then we will put that here. Wow, why? I hate when it does that. It's annoying. So this should be... I think this is a D sharp. And maybe a quieter A sharp. Yes. No, maybe it's a C, actually. Yeah, it's a C. And I think there's not really, that's too quiet, the other notes before that. Alright, it's not really any note before that. So then what's after that is I think I need to move these later because they're starting to blend into each other. And I need this to be, like, I need the thing to be bigger. This can go away. I don't need this. I don't need this. I need this. And then I want to extend this out as much as possible. And then something else, there's something else I can put down here. I don't need this. I never use this stuff anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Except for a few of these. I see I use the save and undo, that's it. Okay, that's much better. Now I can see. Okay, so I'm gonna have to recheck all that because... Okay, perfect. Now... Okay, that's good. Okay, there's no more harmonics. There's a slight harmonic there, but that might be the timbre, or it might just be the thing cutting it off. No, it's just the thing cutting it off, I think. Well, no, it actually might be a note. It's a very quiet one. Nah, it's too quiet. It's probably a part of the timbre. Okay, so this... And I want to recheck some of the other notes that I've done because they might be wrong. So let's mute that one. And then I want to unmute these. Now that I have a bigger space to work with. There's another harmonic here that I'm seeing. All the other ones that I have are correct, it looks like. But there's another one up here. That's very important too. Yeah, there's a G in there. Okay, so that can be muted. And then this one we'll have to unmute. And then we'll move on to the next one. Let's make sure that this one's good. I can tell there's something wrong there. Yeah, I think everything is... I think it's like... And there's like a G here too. No, there's like... It's like D sharp and... No. I think that's just one blending together. It's something really close. Oh wow, it's an F sharp, okay. Definitely there. It's subtle, but it's there. Okay, and this D is wrong. This is C. Okay, let me remove these. And then there's the other one here. No, it's an F. I think it's an F and a G, so it's all repeating this F and G. There's also maybe another... Not sure about this one. Ah, yeah, so this one's very dissonant for some reason. So this part in the middle might be wrong. This one might be another F. Okay, that sounds about right. Might have to do some weaving around there. Maybe this is like a... Yeah, probably a G instead. I think that one just doesn't. The last one just doesn't exist. This is kind of this is a dissonant chord here. This is a... This could be just... Yeah, that would be better. That looks cleaner. Okay, so... Okay, so let's mute all those. And then we'll go on to the next one. Sounds faster. Maybe it is faster. Maybe that's why I'm getting a little bit sounds faster. So maybe should it, you mean it should be, the song should be faster. Also, because this is the entirely the wrong pitch, so it's gonna have to be transposed from that. So maybe that's why it's appearing to be in the wrong scale. So if I go and unmute all these. Yeah. So I think I have probably estimated these wrong. Because they have to be stretched first. Okay, so if we do that, then I would record it into Edison so that it's the right tempo. Let me make sure. Let me listen to the original. I think it's supposed to be a little faster than that too. That sounds about right. No, maybe that's a little bit too fast. I think it's a little bit too fast still. Okay, so these, I'm gonna start over with these because this is gonna need to be. Let's try linearly. Let's try linearly. So let's go. Try to do it by ear. Maybe that's in there somewhere. No, I can't. I can't do it like that. It has to be done by the thing. So, I wish there was a way that I could just map out all those sine waves. But MIDI stuff only handles one at a time, like MIDI recognition. So let's see. Might be a little faster. Might be a little slower. I think it is 215 or 115. So let's record it at that. Okay. So then now let's trim the side noise of that. And then let's drag that in to replace it. So now we know, now we can accurately, without having it affect the pitch, we can do that. Okay, so now we have the correct pitch. So let's do. Okay, that's an F. That's a C. It's too loud, so let's turn it down. We're not going to worry about the volumes of the individual ones right now. We just want to get the things right. Why am I getting a B in here? That doesn't make any sense. It must be a C. Or an A sharp. Nah, that's not making sense either. Maybe it's just a wrong thing. Oh yeah, they all seem a little off. This one seems lower. Okay, it's an E here, so maybe I'm still in the wrong scale here. Okay, another B. Got an F sharp. Okay, so that looks like the chord right there, but it has to be something else because this is like out of the scale. So maybe if we turn it down here, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that would make sense with the scale, so maybe it is that. So now we can go to the we can try the velocities now. And then this one's like way lower. Maybe this one's not even there because... No, that's not the one that's making it clash. I'm not sure what's doing that. Okay, so if we stagger them, then we can do like... Yeah. It would be something like that. That sounds about right. So now the next part. And then let's mute these out. And we can kind of play these like at a lower, since we know this is like scaled up. I think it's scaled up 1. We can probably use that as an estimate. Okay, that sounds like a D sharp right there. Okay, definitely that. Ah, there's a second there. Probably another D sharp. And then maybe another G sharp. Or another G. No. I think there's another G sharp. Another G sharp that. Okay. Let's move this over so we can see the echoes of the other one more. And so these two are kind of like, well, this one's probably to be up higher. And these two have to all be lower, a lot lower. Oh, but this one can be louder. And this one just has to be a lot lower. Nice. Okay, so one thing is that we need, with the, given the flamness, we need these to be shorter. Because there is some space between them and the next note in the sample. And so we need to hold Alt. We'll zoom in and then hold Alt. But this, I want it to be faster. Sounds like when you get your ears tested. Ah, but at least it's sounding like it. There we go. Now that's more like it. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. So let's see what's the next note. This is gonna take a long time. Wow, I'm sorry about this. I didn't know this was gonna take so long. PS1 samples are, bro, stop recording music, you're gonna give me an orgasm every time. Nice. Welcome, welcome Western Hero. Why did that sound like a phone? Oh yeah, it's kind of like internet dial-up. Yeah, because it's a sine wave. Sine waves are the building blocks of music. So a lot of like low, like a lot of like old phones use them. You know. Just have to stop and let you know. Love the creations. Ah, thank you, Cave Squatch. Welcome. Got back from a nice breakfast of making scrambled eggs with toast. How's this song been coming along? Welcome, Space Fanatic 64. That sounds great. I need to have a dinner with that, actually, because I have to eat. Yeah, this song has been coming along nicely. It's just that this synth riff was giving me a lot of trouble, but I think it's taking off now. So let's get this third note down. PS1 samples are impossible to find, but if I find FF9 has the same instruments of FF1 and 2, so it'll be 2 birds for 1 stone. Nice, thanks for the $5 from Black Sun again. Nice. Well, for 1 stone, I find FF9 samples. Yeah, you can also check the video game music restoration sheet. If you search like newer VGM sources, it'll come up on Reddit. And you can find the sheet, and you should be able to search Final Fantasy from the Square Enix tab, and then find FF9. So they might have it discovered already. You'll have to see. It's even more fast. Yeah, that's what I gathered, because now the sample it turns out the sample was pitched lower, so it must be like 120. Yeah, I think the song was being like 120. So now with this, these things going, I'm gonna mute these, and then let's see. Oh god, I hate that. Okay, so that's a C. And this one's lower velocity. But not that low velocity, maybe a little bit less. Okay, so this one is now just even lower velocity. I think this one's higher too. No. Okay, that's right. Okay, and then we have an upper harmonic here. Perfect. Nice, that's about it. So, then we have to stagger these. I'm going to none. And pretty much, I can just actually select all of these, and then shift one, and I'm holding control to do this. Holding down the control key. Okay, so we have that staggering system. And I don't even need to change the thing for this. I can just... Oh wait, did I change the pitch of that? There we go. And then I can... Yeah, I think they should all be like this length. To make them really punchy so that there's silence between them. Okay, so... Nice. And then this guy, for some reason, is still long. Okay, so with that, we can raise the volume of the thing. Okay, so now let's mute those out again. I quite like using the touch screen here, actually. Sorry that makes the screen shake, but that'll give it some excitement. Yeah, you can see the flam here. But I don't know if it's a whole flam or if it's just like one note is off. It might be. We'll figure that out later. Okay, so now we have this note. Okay, and there's one lower harmonic, which might be... No. Okay, so there's that, and that's lower velocity. Almost sounds like the phone hanging up. Okay, that's right. Now... That's perfect. Nice. Now we have one that's like... There's definitely an A for some reason. But it's a lot lower velocity. And this one needs to be lower velocity as well. This one might be like just a fluke, or part of the timbre sample artifact. I don't know, but that's shit that A kind of is weird. Okay, that sounds about right. Let's see if we can stagger that. So let's control and then alt shift and move the right arrow key. Control, shift alt and control shift alt move. Control shift alt move. Okay, so okay, so it's coming together. As of now, I don't really notice any patterns. Seems like just a lot of sine tones, but actually, there might be a pattern because here is like, there's a lot of power chords here, so it might be an organ-like wave, and then at some point he uses a third in the top. So it could be something like that. Because here's a D sharp and there's a G sharp, so this might be here. Yeah, that might be corrected to like that. So it could be that here is a this sine wave pattern has an octave where it's like a sub octave, because it's always like a lower, you know, thing. But it's really too early to make any inferences. And there's got some delay in there too. So let's mute that out. Let me check messages. I mean, Matthew Valenti stopped his. Thank you, Black Sun. $5 more. Nice. Oh, so you're just like doing the commission in like donations? Is that it? Stopped his restoration project like 3 times in 10 years because it was just too hard. FF7 restored would be great. I've heard FF7. That sounds like a nice one. Welcome, Francisco Garcia. I could never figure out that there were so many notes in those weep whoops. You know your stuff. Yeah, I mean, it might not even be notes. Like, some of them are notes, but I think some of them are just, I think it might be the timbre. Like, you never know the timbre because these sine waves could be contained into a patch, some of them. Like, this could be, like, this distance is present throughout the whole thing. Like, here's D sharp to A sharp, D sharp to A sharp, and the same distance, so it might be just less of those and more of like a patch, an FM patch. Okay, so And we can extend this because this is like a... Yeah, there's like echoes in here, so... I think we'll spend the whole day on this thing right here. Come on, man. Just move. Wow, how many of these did I put down? Okay, so... Okay, that's definitely an F. Sounds like phone blips. Like phones dialing. And this one's really low velocity. Okay, so that's about the next chord, and then we can do the shifting thing again. Shift, Alt, move. Control, Shift, Alt, move. Control, Shift, Alt, move. Control, Shift, Alt, move. Okay, so that's about our chord right there. It doesn't really make sense that... Okay, this second one has to be like down a little bit. And then this last one has to be quieter. No, actually it's the other one that has to be down. Nice, okay. Okay, so now we're going on to the sixth one. This is a nice one. I think it's moving on to the higher notes now. Wow, okay, that's annoying. Okay, there's a D sharp. And this one's lower velocity. Not that low. Okay, and this one's a lower velocity. And there's a really low velocity note here. Really low velocity C here. Okay, so that's pretty much that. And then we go Shift, whoops, Shift Alt. That's what the Alt does. It Shift Alt bypasses the grid snap. Control selects, Shift move, hold Shift to move, and then Alt to bypass the snap, and then you actually execute the function with the arrow keys. Okay. So now let's mute this. And then we move on to the next thing. 7th note. Ah, thank you. Black Sun. $2. Nice. In Mwelna? What is Mwelna? Oh, I'm on Patreon about the sound font. Ah, I'm Mwelna. Ah, welcome, Mwelna. I messaged on Patreon about the sound font. Ah, I think I recall that. I think I got a question about a sound font recently that I remember. Welcome. Okay. To be honest, I admire accuracy, but your Stickerbush Symphony cymbal channel was off, and it actually sounds better. It's an improvement because you made it not clash with the other rhythms. I think you mean the hi-hats. The hi-hat channel was off before. It was off and actually sounds better. It actually sound better. It's an improvement because you made it not clash with the other rhythms. Okay. I don't remember what I did. I think I also I think I added in because I had added in some of the cymbals on top of the other drums, but the SNES didn't do that because it was one channel. So I sort of improvised that. DK Donkey Kong. Welcome, Artie. Nice. It's just an alt chord version of Aquatic Ambience with Forest Interlude, right? Welcome, Eduardo. Water World, Water. This guy's excited. Nice. Welcome, Eduardo. Yeah, it's just an alt chord version. It's not an alt chord. It's actually the same chords, but different, like a little bit different melody stuff going on. So actually it's the other way around. I think I get the alpha with that a joke Alpha Star was making. Also, good morning. Welcome, Carlo Nassar. I don't know who Alpha Star is, but nice. Good morning. Ostinato seems pretty hard to figure out. I see they're right up there with solos and arpeggios. It gets buried within mixes. Yeah, this is kind of like the thing that Dave does a lot, is he uses these ostinatos that are also kind of arpeggios, but not really arpeggios. Ah, Alpha Star. There's welcome, Alpha Star. How's it jamming today, Sam? How's it jamming? Nice. Welcome. I get the joke also. Ah, yes, you understood that reference. The GBA OST, oh my god, this is awesome, awesome even. Welcome, German Peter. Nice, sounds like a submarine sonar. Yeah, I think that was intentional because he's using like these, submarine sonars use like a single signal, which is the sound of a pulse, a sine wave, which is just one frequency, so it's the simplest sound you can get. DTMF, I do not know what that means, sorry. Welcome, King Nick. All right, we got a good crowd in here. Look at this. This is awesome. So unfortunately, I don't have anything more exciting to show you guys than this. We're starting with the. So we're very slowly getting that riff down. And so now this next part of the riff is going to be. So let's mute this stuff. Okay, and there's one lower frequency here. Okay, and then this one's a lower velocity. Nice. I think this one's actually the same velocity. Okay, so that's pretty much it right there. And then we just do Shift Alt, move, Shift Alt, move, and so on. Whoops, I forgot to do my Alt. Okay, so then we shift this, hold Shift and move this over here, and then we shift this over here. Okay, then we mute that. And now we change the note to be the next one, which is note 8. And I kind of want to move the thing over here so that there's more space. Okay, that's an F. Okay, that's an F, and then there's another. Okay, but this one's lower velocity. Actually, both of these might be lower velocity. This one might be a little lower. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, now there should be something above that. No, there's not. Okay. So, Shift Alt, Shift Alt, and Shift Alt. Whoop, Shift Alt. Okay, so far we have not quite right. I think there's needs to be some focus on the middle one more. Okay, but that's all right for now. Let's mute this again, and then we'll go on to the next one, which is note 9. Okay. It's a nice chord right there. Wonder what it is. I think both of these. This one's a little lower velocity. Nah. Okay, but that's good. So Shift Alt move. Shift Alt move. And Shift Alt move. Shift Alt move. Shift Alt move. Okay. So now the next thing, I think this could all be like one now. Yeah, maybe not. I think that last one can go down too. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's mute that out. Why? Oh. And then the next note is 10. Okay, that's in there. Okay, that's definitely there. And this one's lower velocity. Okay, that one's lower velocity too. This one's higher velocity. This one's lower velocity. Okay. So that's that. Okay, Shift Alt. Shift Alt. And so on. Okay, and then we select all that and Shift. And I think that these are going to be not just straight notes, but they're going to have like a pluck to them. Actually, here's the pluck button. No, that does nothing. Okay, so here we'll just put in a volume envelope. I think there's a little bit of attack too. No, maybe not. Nice. Nice, that's coming together. It's not completely correct, but it is coming together. Okay, so let's now go to the next note, which I do believe is maybe 11. We're getting there. We have 16 total. This one's quieter. This one's really quiet. Nice. Yeah, that was easy. Shift Alt. Okay. So now go on to 12. Ooh, that's a dissonant one. Oh, but I forgot to mute. This will be a tough one. Might be lower down. There we go. And this one gonna be low velocity. This one might be a little bit more velocity. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's there. Okay, so that's there. Interesting. What a chord. So this is like some crazy stuff going on here. And I think this is part of the timbre because it's like you see some patterns here. Some of them having like normal, like repetitive intervals. So Whoops. Okay, so we're almost there. Okay, let's see. Hello there, random shroomer. I love all this love. Me too, I love love. I adore this song. Welcome, Chris Howell. Nice, me too. Dual tone multi-frequency. It's the sound the phones made. Ah, Pow Puck. Welcome. Yeah, this guy knows what it's called, huh? Yeah. Welcome, No Name SD. Ah, this is the guy that makes the does the MSU patch or makes my tracks work on the MSU1 patch. It's crazy to me that you can do this by ear. Well, it's not totally by ear because these are I'm using the spectrogram mostly. So like I'm looking at it in the spectrogram up top here, and then I'm watching the frequencies. That would be crazy to do this totally by ear. My brother can do that. He's got like 100% pitch, or like, what is it called? Like perfect pitch. But I don't. I'm using the spectrogram. And I'm just using visual. I'm mostly doing visual stuff. What is restoring? So I think I pretty much covered it in the description. Welcome, Fly Guy. I am going to be, I'm going to be taking the samples that the composers use for the game, and also recreating the synths, which is what I'm doing now. And why is there a tone? Did I just put that tone here by accident? So I'm going to be recreating the sound by finding what the composers used to create the game, and then going and recreating the synths, that's what I'm doing right now. And then we're gonna transcribe the soundtrack. So that's pretty much what it is. Hey, weren't you working on the DKC 3 GBA boss theme? I was working on a rich boss, but I decided I wanted to take a break from that and do like restore one song. Then I'll come back and finish that tomorrow probably. Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow. I like to keep some variety in what I do. So now let's move on to the next one, which is this one. And then let's mute this. Let's move the node over to here. I definitely think there's some FMing going on here. Like, not all these are notes, definitely. He didn't write all these notes. But it does help to build the patch. It's a necessary even. Okay, so that's good. Pretty close. Okay. This one's definitely quieter. So is this one. Okay, and this one's a lot louder. Maybe not that much louder. And that's about it. Okay. I think we have like 2 more to go after this. 1 more to go. This one's definitely quieter. Maybe this one too. You know, I think a lot of what this patch is doing is it's echoing into itself. And so a lot of the things you see are like echoes of the other notes. We'll ignore that one. Okay. Okay, so the next one, I think it should be the last one. How many more do we have to go here? Oh, that's the last one. Okay. So let's mute these out. This one's quieter. This one's louder. This one's quieter. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so what we have so far is... So first of all, I think the... This one needs to be... So kind of what I'm thinking is like a lot of these are echoes that are just running into each other, right? So like what I don't want to lose what I've done here. So I'm going to clone this. All right, let me see what people are saying. Places notes at incredible speed. I mean, right? It's like a movie. Welcome, Gradient. Thanks for restoring the GBA versions. That's super cool. Thank you, Augustus Graham. Welcome. Are you literally having to create each fraction of a second by ear? That's insane. Yeah, it's 16 different fractions of a second, and so that's kind of how we have to build this synth, because there's so many harmonics and I don't know what the synth is. I just what the exact notes are being played. So I just have to pick it apart frequency by frequency, and then we'll build something that I think is what was being played here. Now, if you notice, it starts to get more harmonics as it goes on, which means that it's probably a result of those echoes, because the first one right here is just a simple patch. So we know that this is the first note without any echoes, and so what we can surmise is that this might be part of the thing right here, where there's a note up here, and then these two are just like there's another frequency in here, which is basically the organ frequency, or the next frequency, because this would basically be... No, this is an octave actually. I'm not sure how you get like the... Or it might be that this does have the here, let's go back. Might be that this does have the things, but it doesn't have the octave. And that would make sense, because here we have what looks like an octave here. So we don't need that. But there is this note here to be considered. And see, we have another octave here, so we can remove that. Another octave here and here. And then we have these thirds here, so it might be that he's creating a melody up here and then using the harmony over here. So right here we have what looks like an octave. Yeah, here's an octave here, as well as here. Octave here. Octave here. So we have like a sort of a distinct melody here. Yeah, so we're gonna have to filter that because we're getting too many high frequencies from that. But that's the idea. Here's an octave here. Octave here. And so on. Octave here. Okay, so this is kind of coming through. All right, so, and we have echoes that start to develop. Like here and here. Here and here and here. Here and here and here. Saying that a lot, I should stop. We have an octave here. An octave here. An octave here. Echoes here. So now we have to actually add those echoes into the patch. So let's go delay. And then we'll put this by delay volume, like maybe 75. And then we'll do the time as 1 step. Yeah, that sounds good. And so maybe let's quantize this for now, because I don't really want those things in there. The flams in there, they're kind of messing me up. And so this might be... This might be an echo. So these might be more echoes. Or maybe these are just... Here, let's make them all... Oops. So let's see, I'm kind of messing with this here, but we can like undo this stuff, whatever we do. So I'm trying to find out what the essence of this line is. So we have this underlying. So let's cut this for now. And so maybe this underlying one is like lower. Whoops. And maybe this all goes like a lower velocity, lower. Let's cut this. Okay, that definitely offers some clues. I want to make another one and then try to try to get it down further. I think that definitely, let's see. It's a little bit of a cluster here. Let me try undoing all of that, like a lot of that. So we definitely have this theme where it's going like. Feel that here I started to take away some of the essence of what it was. So there's definitely this kind of. And maybe it's like this. No, there's definitely that A sharp in there. And maybe there's some like FMing going on here. Ooh. That definitely sounds interesting. So we definitely have like, I think. So first off, let's make these. Let's try to reduce some of the lower velocity notes. We can begin phasing those out. Let's turn down the. Okay, it's coming along. It's getting there, but it's not quite there. I could say that this is probably. So it looks like kind of what we have here is a little bit of chords in the top, especially. There's like thirds. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll leave. I think maybe we go back to here. But I like some of the things I did here. So I think this is getting good. I think we just need to mostly just need to remove some of the low velocity notes because those are probably like overtones. Like this. It's hard to identify what is low velocity. This one's definitely there. Because I think that one thing that we do need is to like even out some of the velocities, because it's not likely that he would have done a lot of like running around with the velocity. So I kind of want to even out, like maybe if I even like just remove this velocity variation completely, that might make it actually sound better. But now it's too loud, so let's turn it down. And then maybe it's only FM, maybe it's not the oscillator having an octave. That sounds pretty good. I kind of feel like it did have an octave, just it was just lower. I feel like there might have been no FM, just mostly the Yeah, I think I'll leave it there for now, and then we'll come back and refine that later. Good job, man. Nice. Thank you, Douglas Sarosh. Now it begins to sound really nice. Yeah, now it's taking shape. I think I'm gonna leave it there because this is getting a little boring. I'm gonna like leave it there. I think we're at a good stopping point for that sound. We'll move on to the next one because I know my ears are tired of hearing that. Once the great welcome gradient. Once the synth is complete, swap the sound font for the cat sounds, of course. Nice. That'd be funny. Thanks for restoring GBA. This is super cool. Nice. Thank you. Virtual game music uses compressed instrument restores. Oh yes. Thank you, Black Sun. Now then, so we can create, and the only other thing is like I think it does it with like other notes too, but once we get the chord scheme down here, that'll be fine. Except I think it waited longer than that to... Oh, it hangs on that chord for a while. Okay, so it hangs on that chord for quite a while. I don't know how long, but that means maybe like 8 bars or 16 bars. Probably 8 bars. I almost feel like it's an octave lower. I feel like a lot of these notes are... Like, there's an octave down here, so why not an octave here as well? And there's so many upper harmonics like that I don't want. Ah, definitely this part is like... So I definitely think there's a theme of da 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 dum. And so what is this one right here? I think this is just a C. And I think it's... Yeah, maybe there's no organ-like thing here. Because this thing is going... And I definitely think it'll be pay to look at the first note again. You know what might be doubling up is like that there's 2 octaves here and one is doubling up. So if we... It might give us a clue as to what the root idea is if we just look at this note again. So there's definitely an like organ-like thing going on here. And I don't know why I don't have the power to give this like an organ thing. I guess I just have to like do one at like an organ frequency. Oh, this one has to be... I think I'm gonna have to give it a filter. And then send the... Send the envelope here instead. Oh, why is this so far away? This is the first frequency. Why is it... Oh, the first frequency does do that. No, wait. No, it doesn't. So far away. And then you also have an octave here. Oh, that's the octave, okay. So you had it doing that. And then there's a, like, higher harmonic up here. But that's too low. It has to be higher up than that. And then the synth itself can be higher. And there definitely is a little bit of a flam in there. And let's see this first. So let's break it down, and I can see it's like an organ-like waveform here, right? So it's definitely giving off that. But the flam here, and then this is the one that plays before the flam, and then after the flam, it's like. So it's difficult. And also the note is a little bit off. Like the harmonic is. Oh, it's got to be lower then. Let's take out the echoes for now. So there's definitely that octave sense, and maybe there's another octave note doubling that up. It's definitely doing that. And something has to be creating this third harmonic here. Ah, here we go. That makes a lot of sense. Now, what's this up here? And so maybe the filter is can like clean up some of those. And it has sort of, maybe it has sort of a bandpass here. No, these frequencies are up higher. Okay, that sounds about right for now. Let's see. Not sure I like that change. Let me go back to what I had before. But that does give me a little bit of a clear insight. Yeah, that'll do for now. There's some tones in there that are redundant that I can hear need to be deleted, but I don't know what those are now. Let's for real move on. Welcome, Tranus. It still lacks the water sound in the samples. It does. So this is a work in progress because this synth is like probably going to be the most difficult part of the thing. You're a legend, my friend, an absolute legend. Thank you. Welcome, Zenesis. All right, so now let's finally move on from this because this is you know what? I feel that it's not so much that this is a like the thing takes longer. This science friction. I think it's more that it was pitched down. It's like it's slower than it usually is. So maybe if we do the attack. Nice. Yeah. And then we can have it last like 4 bars. That sounds good. Yeah, there's definitely too many higher harmonics in there, but I don't know which higher harmonics need to be removed yet. So it would definitely be... Because here we kind of have an I'm kind of doing octaves, and I think that part is it's part of the unnecessary one. No, they're supposed to be up here. No, I think it's that the patch has... how's the patch? I thought I removed all the harmonics in the patch. Like the, the thing, like this harmonics in the sine wave. Guess maybe not? I don't know. It should be. I think it's these that are redundant. Yeah. That definitely helps removing those notes. But I think this will be like an overtime thing, for real. Yeah, this is something I'm gonna have to get right over time, but it's fine. We can remove that other ostinato now. Actually, let's keep this because this is a direct map of all the frequencies in there. So I think this will be valuable for like reviewing, you know, when we reviewed the direction. So I'm gonna keep that around for now. But let's continue. And then I think after that we have the dun 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 dun. Oh, we have the whale sound. Now the whale sound is interesting because it's not actually a whale sound. It's actually, here, let me call this let's call this sine. And then that's actually a violin. And I found it. I was like, huh, this really sounds like those whale waves. But he did like some pitch bending to make them sound like whales, which is really brilliant. This is from the Lightware Volume 1 Instruments patch. This is like violins, and so the tone that I'm saying matches is. So he's what I think he's doing is bending the notes here. Like he's just creating because there's this one whale wave that is like, here, I'll drag the sample in here. So you have this, and I should put it at the same pitch as the game first, so that I know I'm taking the right note. That might be the other one. Yeah, that's the first one. Okay. So what he's doing here is he's got an upward pitch bend on this. And it's kind of suddenly jolting up. And then it jolts up and then it ends, but it has delay on it, so. And it has delay and reverb. And it's an E. It's probably a different note. Ah, I think that's the note that he uses in the game. No, wait, that's actually not. It's lower than that. Yeah. And then let's give it reverb and stuff so that you can really hear the effect, because I do believe this is what he did. And let's use Realm for this, because I like Realm a lot for big, wide reverbs that aren't supposed to be a particular room. Because one of the things that makes it sound like a whale call is because a lot of times when they have archival recordings of whales, is they have this like it's through the water, so it's getting this long reverb. And delay. And I think it's at the end here. And I think there's a pitch bend at the end, the beginning here. No, it bends up sooner than that. Ah, it's got to be a different note because the tone I'm hearing doesn't match. And I think, okay, I think that's the right note, and then it's EQ'd a bit. So he's kind of like suppressing some frequencies. No, it might be a different note. It might be an octave lower, or I might be wrong about that. Oh, wait, yes. No, I think it is that that note. Maybe. Could be. I'm not sure. Sounds like a mosquito flying around me when trying to sleep. Yeah, right? It's like a low quality mosquito. But could have been. I think if it is any note, it's this one. But it's heavily filtered. It might be. I'm trying to get that lower frequency up. And let's see, the high shelf can go. Oh wow, is that like a sub frequency that I brought out here? Nice. Oh, I think I have it too far over. Yeah, there we go. That's why it wasn't working. I was like, this thing is not straight up not functioning, that's all. Okay, now we don't need that much. So now this frequency is kind of muted out. Now it's starting to come together. Okay, so let's get the original one there again. Oh, that's too high. Okay, that's not quite there, but it's still something in the right direction. I think we need another one. And there's one frequency that I'm not getting here. Okay, so that's about as close as it's gonna get, or maybe it's an actual whale call, but I've searched everything and I don't know where that would come from. So I don't know. If it doesn't work, I'll just make it a cover. That's all. Yeah, but definitely let's move on from that for now. And then I have the piano here, which I used on Cascade Capers as well, and I know it's the one from the game. Oh wait, I already have a thing of contact. Anyway, so let's go and grab our. Let's see. I have the view of the file. Let's see. Remaster. There we go. Now this one from we have the. Where is my piano? I have too many files here. Oh, the piano is off of it's in my, because it's too big to put on the drive. So, here it is, Nemesis Grand. So it's in my personal library. Okay, so Nemesis Grand, and the solo is. And the funny thing, the only thing that sucks is that this is not a loop, so I can't hear it. Okay, so this will be fun to transcribe. Let's see. Oh, that was a problem with this library, is that sometimes it does ghost notes. Yeah, that's not good. I think it's only a problem with whenever you play it. It's not really... It's it's definitely like something like. Yeah, it's definitely. I can definitely hear that aquatic ambience cadence in there, but I'm not sure if it's those notes or if it's up higher. There it is. That's definitely the top part. There's another layer in there that I'm not getting. And I think that it's following the bass line. I think that, yeah, I definitely hear that C in the beginning. But I better get the top part right first. Better make sure that that part is right. And then there's another one in the bass there. I'll get the bass. I'll just do whatever I can get, really. Oh, I think it's like outlining that C minor 9 scale, because look, we have this, and this seems right, and then you have the D at the top. I think that's pretty much what's going on here. Okay, that second part right here is a little more dissonant. Okay, so something like that, and then you go. So if we select the scale and then we move it downward with the scale, then we get. Wait, what's? I think I have the wrong scale because it. Why I selected C? It should have kept it at C. And I think it goes straight up, like just down here. Actually, I think it might have been up. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. It goes back up. Okay, and then you have another section. You have the F section. Not sure about this note. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Let's look at that first part again. So that doom note in there is like. So it would be more like. Yeah, I think it's that. And then it doesn't really do that on the next time. It's like when it goes down. Oh wait, what's this? There's a like variation here when it does. Or maybe it's. Yeah. Okay, so let's check that next part too. Oh yeah, I hear that same sort of movement where it's like. But it might be that this top part stays the same. Nah, I think it goes with it. Okay, so in that next part, and when it goes up, I think this note lasts, like, also these notes also sustain. I think there's like a sustain pedal sort of moment we're going on right here, where it sustains the first few notes, and then it releases. Yeah. So, dun dun dun. But I think it doesn't sound that obvious. No, but it maybe it goes up in. I think it is. Okay, and then the D part goes upwards instead of downwards. No, not quite, but I think I think it's like scaling it wrong. This should be a G. Okay, that's not right, but let's check it out again. Ah, there it is. It's just this repeat of the first one. I think this one doesn't have that part, that upward part. I think it's here. There we go. Nice, okay. So let's call this piano. And for now, just this first part is gonna repeat, I think, a couple times, and then it goes to this next part. And the strings can come down. I don't know why they're so loud. I think this bass note here might be not there. Yeah. Okay, so here, I think is where it changes, yes. Okay, so these notes have to come outward. It's more like 4 bars of this. Nah, you know what? I think the tempo is actually 60, maybe? And then everything is moved over a bit. Okay, so that, and then this one's more like a beat. No. No, this one's a step. Okay. Okay, so this has to be, each of these have to be repeated twice. Ah, no, this has to be, actually, I think this is only repeated, this only plays twice and it plays earlier. And then we have this 2 pianos. But now these don't play until way later. And I do believe that this chord progression just keeps on repeating for a while. And then we have the drum beat. Let me read chat. I haven't read chat for a while. Welcome, Marco Panella. Yo, Sam, I'm just saying what's up from NJ. Welcome from Barcelona. Yeah. Welcome, Carlo Nassar. The D4 I'm hearing was a G. The D4, okay. Like in the like in the piano, right? It was a G. I'm not sure. Okay, anyway. Only ever played the first GBA Donkey Kong. I hope they all put them all on NSO soon. What is NSO? Nintendo Sound. Oh, is that like that app? I heard about that. Welcome, Richard Davis. Okay, so so we have that Alice's Dream drum loop here from Stylus Remix. So if I load up Stylus, I can remove this for now. So okay, here it is. Now, Remix Grooves. Alice's Dream. Wait. No, that wasn't it. It's supposed to be Alice's Dream. I don't know why it's not playing like that. Am I doing the right? Am I in the right section? I should be. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's weird. I know I heard that that thing already. Let me check the VGM restoration sheet. Yeah, it just says it's like Alice's Dream, and I don't know why that I'm not getting those. I'm not getting anything like that. That's really weird. Apparently I guess my stylus isn't working right, because I know I've heard that beat and I'm like, oh yeah, that's that. So I don't know why. Maybe I'll have to maybe I can find like a wave of it, or maybe since we've been doing this for like 3 hours already, this might be where we cut it off for the day. But we did some good stuff, and we'll come back with that next time. I want to do, like tomorrow, I want to finish the Rich's Ambush thing, and then we'll come back to that. Let me see if I can find a wave of Alice's Dream. No. I'm trying to find, I'm in the like video game music restoration server right now, but I can't find anything about Donkey Kong Country 3 and this. Oh well, I'll figure it out. I'm sure there's some reason. Okay, y'all, this will be, this is where we'll cut it for today. Now I have definitely have some things to figure out before I come back to the next one. So we'll come back to that maybe Wednesday. What's today? Is today Monday? No, today's Tuesday. So we'll come back with that Thursday. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming to the stream. Welcome, Asa Breathe. This can only be good. Yes, unfortunately, this is where we will cut it for the day. So you're on the end of the stream. NSO is basically the retro emulator for Nintendo Switch. Okay. The music everything is called Nintendo Music. Okay. So they have a name for the emulator on Nintendo Switch. It's not just the Nintendo Switch. Nice. Okay, well this is where we'll cut it for today. So we got some good progress. This sounds nice. Except for this sounding weird. Like this, I feel like the core is there. But there's some missing, there's some higher frequencies that we don't want. Like maybe just all of this, I don't know. But not all of those, only some of them. Yeah, that makes it sound better. Nice. And I want to include a time signature in this so that it's just 2/4. Yeah. That makes it sound so much better, honestly. Cool, so we got the general idea of the song now, at least the first part. So we'll finish that next time, and let's save this as Water Worlds or Ripcurl Reef. Okay, so Yeah, that's where we'll cut it today. The song is like 120 BPM or halftime. I think it's technically 60 BPM, like halftime 20, because what the beat does when the drums come in, it's like that is 60 BPM, not 120, because 120 would be like something like that. Wowzers, you've been restoring for a long time. Thank you. $2 from Black Sun. Thank you. Yes, I've been doing this for a while. I think the first one was in 2018. So yeah, almost about 8 years or so. 7 years. Okay. So it's been a long while. It's been a long road. All right. So this is where we'll cut it for today, and this is some promising stuff for tomorrow. I'm not so sure about the whale is actually a violin, so we'll see about that. But it could have been like some archival recordings from his library or something, because a lot of times libraries, like local libraries, archive whale recordings. So I think I might search through those and see if I can find that. If not, we'll just roll with the violin, because the violin was pretty promising. And the synth is coming together, but it's not coming together yet, but it's promising as well. All right, y'all. And this is where we'll cut it for today, and this will be Jammin' Sam signing off. Until next time. Hope you have a great